What's up, Grizz Nation? I am Meghan Triplett. That is John Roser on the other end. And it's time for another edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. We've had a crazy week that was, so let's just jump right into it. It's the contract that everybody is seeing. Your phones are going off. The biggest contract in sports history. Patrick Mahomes signed an extension for 10 years. Let me make sure I get this right. So 477 million guaranteed and 503 million is the total. Roser, my sympathies for you. You're over there with your 49ers shirt on. Let me just open up the floor to you on the stance of Patrick Mahomes' big contract.
I mean, I really don't want to talk about it, but he's totally worth it. He's totally worth it. Now the thing that's going to happen with the Chiefs going forward, because you do have so much money locked up now in one player, what else are they going to be able to afford going forward? Like that is a big thing if they're going to continue to try to win Super Bowls. Like, what are they going to be able to spend money on going forward? But I will say, as far as that contract goes, he is very deserving of it. He's the best player in the NFL. There's no doubt about it. He's the best player in the NFL. As much as I hate to say that, he's the best player in the league.
I mean, I'm surprised you were able to say it. Like, you didn't stutter. You didn't vomit while saying it. It doesn't look like you're sweating a little bit over there. I mean, look, Patrick.
You want me to go vomit? I can vomit.
No,
I can really go vomit. I can really go vomit. I can. Trust. I do not like talking about this.
Look, I won't.
The best player in the league.
I won't go long. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is not just a great quarterback, but he is one of the best players in the league. I was just shocked by the number. Like, we've never seen an extension like this. 10 years. 10 whole years. We're talking about 2030. Like, this is absolutely crazy. 10 years from now, I'm just hoping to be happy, married with a child at least, or something like that. But this guy has hundreds of million that he is going to be able to get. It is one of those crazy numbers that we're not used to seeing in the NFL. Like, I mean, obviously this is something that I'm sure a lot of NFL players, this might start a trend coming, in the future. This number is absolutely crazy. When I first saw it, I thought a little too much, maybe. I mean, you are putting a lot on the line and a lot on one player. A lot can happen. I was just shocked. I mean, it's not that he doesn't deserve it, but that number is high.
Yeah, 477 million guaranteed. That is like we said, it's the biggest contract in the history of sports. Like, we've never seen anything like this. But I mean, the NFL, like, it is the biggest sport in the country. Like, there's no doubt about it. So if somebody's going to get that kind of contract, you figure it would be the best player in that sport, and he is the best player in the sport.
Well, you know what? I would love to sign a contract like that. I think you would too. I mean,
let's go to the bosses.
Yes, let's do that. I mean, are you up for contract extension? We can just walk in there together. 3 Point Stands is worth something.
Yeah, like let's go get us. I mean, I'll take like 4,000 more. I mean,
it's too much here.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have to be 477 million. I'll just take the 4. Give me the 4 and the 1,000. I'll take that.
All right, let's move on. After this, you and I will talk and figure some stuff out. But let's move on to soccer right now. Some news also broke over the week. Obviously, the COVID-19 cases are spiking. It's kind of putting a damper on the return of sports, and one team that is putting damper on is FC Dallas. So they're out of the MLS is back tournament. They were supposed to play on Wednesday, but due to the high number of cases that they have seen in their team alone, they've got 10 players and 1 staff member who tested positive for COVID-19. So they have pulled out of a tournament. And with the conversation of what we're seeing just with that one team in the MLS, and we're seeing numbers and more players coming out. What's your stance, and what does this kind of mean for the return of sports?
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Like, obviously in Europe, they've had success. The Premier League just tested every player on every team and every staff member, and they had no positive tests. Now, clearly that's different here in America. I mean, I'm worried a little bit because they've got to go to Orlando, and that's where obviously the MLS is going to be. That's where the NBA is going to be. And the fact that you're already seeing those positive tests like that with the MLS, like that, I mean, that worries me too, as far as with the NBA goes.
Yeah, I think it's very scary. I think when you see a team pull out and take, obviously it's the right thing to do. That's a lot of players and a lot of staff members, and obviously health is, more important it tops everything when it comes to sports, entertainment, whatever. I do think that this could, I don't think it's predicting the future of what we could see, but I also think it's a wake up call. It's a wake up call that, a lot of people came out over the weekend after the 4th, is just seeing how many people are still not taking this seriously, whether it's not wearing a mask. We've already had a couple of baseball players test positive, and them saying that, like, hey, this hits you like a ton of bricks. Freeman said that himself. Mike Trout's wife has come out and said, like, hey, my husband's wearing a mask running bases. Like, this is not this hard. And you mentioned like other sports and other countries who have came back and have successfully done it. It just shows you how in our country, how we are kind of behind everybody else. But I also, it makes me worry. It makes me worry about the NBA coming back because, obviously Florida numbers, MLS, this tournament was supposed to be in Florida as well. They're supposed to all go to Disney World. A lot of teams, these teams and leagues are going to Florida. That one spot.
Yeah.
Makes it very scary.
No, it absolutely is. But I mean, one of the things I will say is that, the health of the players, they're at least, like, for the most part, I'm sure like 99% of them, they don't have respiratory issues. They're 100% completely healthy. So if they do get it, like, the chances of anything like really, really bad happening to them, it's basically slim to none.
I know the numbers aren't high. When you put the whole total, like, the percentage is low. It's just that other side of it where, like, the potentially what could happen and, like, that what if, it's always lingering. And I think obviously FC Dallas got it right. They're taking matters in their own hands and saying, okay, we're going to step back and we will not participate. And I do think that, I think other teams in these other leagues, if that comes down to it, we could very well see teams say, hey, we're not going to send our players. Like, we've already seen, in the NBA, people close down their practice facilities saying, hey, we've got a couple positive tests. We're going to close it down. We'll go to Orlando, but practicing right now and working out right now is not important for us. We're closing everything down. So I do think it's going to be something that, obviously everyone's looking at, everyone's concerned about. FC Dallas got it right. I just hope and I pray that everyone stays healthy, not just in sports in our country, but it is a very, very scary thing.
I do too. And Adam Silver has already said, like, if there starts to get to be an outbreak, he will shut it down. He will completely shut it down. So, we just got to trust what the NBA is going to do. We got to trust them.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's kind of like, this is when having those leaders in those positions and having that trust and, like, you depend on them to make the right decisions. And so it's a kind of trickle down effect. So fingers crossed and prayers thrown up there. Yes. All right. Let's move on to the tweet that happened over the weekend. Talking about leaders. Kanye West decided to put out a tweet over the weekend alluding to the fact that he is running for president in 2020. So yes, that's in a few months. I didn't take it seriously. So I didn't really look deeper into it. I mean, I know Elon Musk came out and said he has his full support. I saw a couple people tweeting out saying, like, go Kanye 2020. Kim Kardashian retweeted it and she just did the American flag. It's kind of left everyone up to, like, is this a serious thing? Or is this what we're living in again? This isn't the first time he said he's running for president, but it feels like this might be more serious. I don't know.
Who knows? Like, I mean, who knows if you can take him seriously? Like, who knows? Like, I mean, he's my favorite music artist. He's without a doubt my favorite music artist. I mean, would I vote for him for president? I mean, look at our other options. Like, like, I might. Like, I really might. Like, if you look at our other options, I really might vote for him.
No. I'm gonna admit that I'm not. I don't expect to see his name on the ballot. I don't know. I don't like to get political, but it was a tweet that everybody was talking about. Everybody was talking about it. I mean, even your friend is talking about it back there. We're gonna have to bring your friend on next time to get that stance on it. Not yet.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I mean, all we can do is wait and see. We haven't heard from him just yet of what this means. But it was interesting to see people come out and like actually took it very seriously. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but it's 2020. It's 2020. At this point, nothing shocks me. Nothing can shock me anymore. And I say that, and something still might happen, and it still shocks me.
Oh, no. I don't think anything can shock me anymore. Not after this year. Not after this year. Not at all. Not after this year at all. Nothing can shock me. Nothing.
I mean, the beauty thing that can happen, the best thing that can happen in 2020 is that you and I can one day be in the same room. I know we've always done this like this, but now that we like have to, I feel as if like one 3-point stance episode, we should actually be in the same room for it.
I agree.
Yeah, at this point we should do it.
Yeah.
So one day.
Let's do it next week.
I think the numbers will still be going up again by that time either. And not that I don't trust you or anything, but social distancing.
Fair enough.
Well, until then, I will see you next week, probably via the same type of Skype phone call. So Roser, like always, love talking to you. 3-point stands presented by Mountain Dew.